Hello everyone, DeckTrolls here. To start off, I just want to say thank you. I've reached over 50 subscribers, and yeah, it took a while. Well, let's aim for more, I guess. Alright, cool. So today I'm going to show you guys my Magical Musketeer deck. Basically what this deck does is it allows you to use your musket spells and trap cards from your hand. Yeah, that's it. And if you activate spells or traps or if a spell or trap is activated in the column of a Magical Musketeer, then their effect goes off. And yeah, so let's get into it. You got 1 Magical Musketeer, Mastermind Zakil. You can summon this card by tributing 1 face-up Magical Musketeer monster. During either player's turn, you can activate Magical Musket spell or trap cards from your hand. Once per turn, during your opponent's end phase, you can draw cards equal to the number of Magical Musket spell or trap cards you activated this turn while this card is face-up on the field. You can only use this effect of Magical Musket, Mastermind Zakil once per turn. Now, this isn't the greatest Magical Musket. That's why I only have 1 of him. But he does have 2500 attack, which is the highest of all of them. And it's decent for drawing. And if you play your cards right, cards, then you can actually draw into plenty of resources, which you need spells and traps in your hand like crazy in this deck. So it can be pretty helpful. And you got your Searcher, 3 Magical Musketeer Caspar. During either player's turn, you can activate Magical Musket spell or trap card from your hand. If a spell or trap card is activated in this card's column, you can add 1 Magical Musket card from your deck to your hand, but not a card with the same name as that activated card. You can only use the effect of Magical Musketeer Caspar once per turn. Now it says Magical Musket card because it could either be a Magical Musket spell or trap, or it could be a Magical Musket ear monster. So you can search any Magical Musket card. You got 3 Magical Musketeer Starfire. During either player's turn, you can activate Magical Musket spell or trap cards from your hand. If a spell or trap card is activated in this card's column, you can special summon 1 level 4 or lower Magical Musket monster from your deck in defense. Except Magical Musketeer Starfire, you can only use this effect of Magical Musketeer Starfire once per turn. Now this is probably like your second best card in here, because it'll help you get out your Caspar real quickly, and then you can set off his effect by using another spell or trap. You got 3 Magical Musketeer Kid Brave. During either player's turn, you can activate 1 Magical Musket spell or trap card from your hand. If a spell or trap card is activated in this card's column, you can discard 1 Magical Musket card, draw 2 cards, and you can only use this effect of Magical Musketeer Kid Brave once per turn. Now, sometimes you're gonna have some cards in your hand that you probably don't need, so that's why I run this at 3, so that you can just get rid of a card and draw into some better ones. You got 3 Magical Musket Musketeer Calamity. During either player's turn, you can activate a Magical Musket spell or trap card from your hand. If a spell or trap card is activated in this card's column, you can target 1 Magical Musketeer monster in your graveyard, special summon in defense position. You can only use the effect of Magical Musketeer Calamity once per turn. Now you got 2 Magical Musketeer Dock. During either player's turn, you can activate Magical Musketeer spell or trap cards from your hand. If a spell or trap card is activated in this card's column, you can activate one Magical Musketeer. Add one Magical Musketeer card from your graveyard to your hand, but not a card with the same name that activated card. You can only use the effect of Magical Musketeer Dock once per turn. You got 2 Magical Musketeer Wild, the last of our Musketeer monsters. During either player's turn, you can activate Magical Musketeer spell or trap cards from your hand. If a spell or trap card is activated when in this card's column, you can target 3 Magical Musket cards in your graveyard, shuffle all 3 into the deck, then draw 1 card. You can only use this effect of Magical Musketeer Wild once per turn. Now that's actually pretty decent, pretty good, because then you can actually reuse your resources and draw a card, because why not just get the extra card because you need it or want it? And it's 1700 attack, so it's decent. It's good. Alright, and lastly for the monsters, we got 3 Honest. During your main phase, you can return this face-up card from the field to the hand. During your damage step, when a light monster you control battles, quick effect, you can send this card from your hand to the graveyard. That monster gains attack equal to the attack of the opponent's monster it is battling until the end of this turn. Now, all your Magical Musketeer monsters are lights, so yeah, Honest. Alright, for your spells, you got 3 Magical Musket Cross Domination, a quick play spell. If you control a Magical Musket monster, you can target 1 face-up monster on the field. Until the end of this turn, change its attack and defense to 0. Also, it has its effects negated. You can only activate 1 Magical Musket Cross Domination per turn. You got 2 Magical Musket Steady Hands, also a quick play spell. Target 1 Magical Musket monster you control. Its attack and defense become double its original attack and defense until the end of this turn. It cannot attack directly during the turn you activate this card. You can only activate 1 Magical Musket Steady Hands per turn. Now, you might have noticed it is really good to combo off with this one, because you can turn their monster into 0 and then double yours. Then we got 2 Constellar Belt. It's a quick play not a quick play, it's a continuous spell. The activation of light monster effects cannot be negated. So just have your opponent waste resources in destroying that. And then 1 Photon Veil. Shuffle 3 light monsters from your hand to the deck. Then add 1 to 3 level 4 or lower light monsters from your deck to your hand. If you add 2 or more monsters, they must have the same name. Now for your traps, you got 3 Magical Musket Last Stand. When your opponent activates a spell or trap card while you control a Magical Musket monster, negate the activation, and if you do, destroy that card. You can only activate 1 Magical Musket Last Stand per turn. You got 3 Magical Musket Desperado. If you control a Magical Musket monster, target 1 face-up card on the field, destroy it. You can only activate 1 Magical Musket Desperado per turn. Now, a personal favorite of mine, 3 Magical Musket Dancing Needle. If you control a Magical Musket monster, target up to 3 cards in the graveyards, so it could be yours or your opponent's, banish them. You can only activate 1 Magical Musket Dancing Needle per turn. So you can get rid of pesky cards that are in the grave. Yeah, that's it. You can get rid of pesky cards in the grave. And lastly, we got 3 Magical Musket Fiendish Deal. Your only continuous trap card. Magical Musket monsters you control cannot be destroyed by card effects. If this card in your possession is sent to the graveyard by an opponent's card effect, you can add 1 Magical Musket card from your deck or your graveyard to your hand, except Magical Musket Fiendish Deal. You can only activate 1 Magical Musket Fiendish Deal per turn. Now this is the card that you might brick with, but it's a good card to have to protect your monsters. That is why I run it at 3, but if you do end up having too many in your hand, eventually and pretty quickly you can get Kid Brave and just ditch it and draw 2 cards. Alright guys, that is my whole deck profile for Magical Musketeers. I didn't add an extra deck. However, if I did add something, it would be something like I'm blanking on that Link monster. Hip Hashinigan. Yeah. However, I like the deck as is, but yeah, you can experiment however you want. This is just a reference of what I have. Alright guys, so yeah, tell me what you like, what did you dislike, what would you do to improve it. Please comment below, like when you guys comment. Yeah, so remember I have 100 and plus budget friendly decks, so please make sure to like and subscribe for more fun future content, and most importantly, have fun.